The K-9 Thunder is a South Korean self-propelled 155mm howitzer designed and developed by the Agency for Defense Development and Samsung Aerospace Industries for the Republic of Korea Armed Forces, and is now manufactured by Hanwha Defense. K-9 howitzers operate in groups with the K-10 automatic ammunition resupply vehicle variant. The entire K-9 fleet operated by the South Korean Armed Forces is now undergoing upgrades to K-9A1 standard, and a further development of a K-9A2 variant is in process. In 1980s, the ROK Armed Forces came in need of new artillery system to contest North Korean equipment. The Armed Forces operated M107 self-propelled gun and K-55 self-propelled howitzer. However, they had shorter firing range compared to M1978 Coxswain and were outnumbered by various North Korean artillery. With the success of designing and manufacturing KH-178 and KH-179 towed artillery, and experience gained by license producing K-55 KM109A2, the Ministry of Defense ordered to develop new system that has longer firing range, faster firing rate, and high mobility. The development started in 1989 and was led by the Agency for Defense Development (AD) and Samsung Aerospace Industries, now Hanwha Defense. The ADD first offered upgrades on existing K-55, inspired by the United States M109 Howitzer Improvement Program (HIP), but was rejected by the Republic of Korea Army. As a result, the ADD determined to create new weapon system and worked on conceptual model till 1991. Early concept requested by the military includes river crossing capability and installation of M61 Vulcan as anti-air weapon, which were removed due to unnecessity for such long-range weapon. In 1992, the Ground System Division of United Defense LP, now Base Systems Land and Armaments, invited members of the ADD for its first M109A6 Paladin release ceremony and expressed interest in participating Korea's self-propelled howitzer program by upgrading K-55 to Paladin standard, which was rejected by South Korea. By late 1990s, internal review showed localization of 107 out of 235, 45.5% technologies required to build the artillery. After the review, South Korea decided to continue developing domestic main system, main gun, 155mm ammunition, fire control system, structure, and autoloader. On the other hand, engine, transmission, and INS were chosen to be imported from foreign partners, and license produce hydropneumatic suspension to boost up localization by 70%. The engineers faced biggest challenge on designing main gun and suspension due to lack of experience. While licensing the K-55, its main gun was brought as finished product and suspension was produced under knowledge base from the United States. The turret servo electro-hydraulic system is a derive from that of K-1 MBT. Automatic fire control system enabled rapid aiming, faster shooting, and improvement to accuracy. Originally, air-log hydropneumatic suspension, which was being used for British AS-90, was chosen for test for license produce, but failed to absorb shock from much bigger .52 caliber gun. Later, South Korea developed domestic hydropneumatic suspension and sold to Britain. A total of 2 prototypes were built and performed first open trial in 1996. During the test, the prototypes succeeded to fire distance of 40 kilometers and 6 rounds per minute but failed to fire 3 rounds in 15 seconds. On 5 December 1997, one of the prototypes of the K-9 was damaged by fire after testing 18 rounds in 3 minutes due to failing complete combustion, which resulted death of 1 researcher among 3 wounded. However, damaged prototype's internal system survived the fire, thus was repaired for further use. 2 prototypes fired a total of 4,100 rounds and underwent 13,800 kilometers driving test including in extreme temperature conditions. The localization rate reached 87% by the end of the development. The contract for the K-9 artillery system was awarded to Samsung Aerospace Industries on the 22nd of December 1998. The first vehicle was rolled out on the 17th of December 1999, and was fielded to the Republic of Korea Marine Corps in Yeonpyeong Island. On the 13th of November 2020, DAPA announced that deliveries of the K-9 had been completed. Since 1999, an estimated 1,300 K-9 SPHs were handed over to the ROK military. On December 2020, the Agency for Defense Development commenced a study to create unmanned variants of the K-9 Thunder and K-188 tank. The study is expected to be completed by November 2024. Hanwha Defense is in charge of developing the unmanned self-propelled artillery and is expected to fully produce an autonomous K-9 Thunder by 2040 after the K-9A2 variant. The K-9 Thunder saw its first combat during the bombardment of Yeonpyeong on 23 November 2010. 6 ROKMC howitzers engaged against the surprise attack from the North Korean artillery. Prior to the battle, the howitzers returned from a scheduled firing exercise, using most of the shells stored within the howitzer. In addition, one howitzer experienced a problem during the exercise when a shell became stuck in the barrel, disabling it. 2 units received slight damage to their firing control systems during the initial North Korean attack, meaning only 3 out of the 6 units were able to counterattack. Eventually, the howitzer that had barrel problems joined the second counterattack after receiving field repairs. The K-9s fired only 1 shell every 1.5 minutes, because the Marines had to carry the shells from the armory and manually load the howitzer under heavy fire after exhausting BL rounds. K-9 is an indigenous system of an all-welded steel armor construction which is rated to withstand 14.5 mm armor-piercing rounds, 152 mm shell fragments, and anti-personnel mines. The main armament consists of a 155 mm 52 caliber ordnance with a maximum firing range of 40 km. The K-307BB projectile propelled by the K-676 top charge has a muzzle velocity of 928 meters per second, 3,040 feet per second. Citation needed. State-of-the-art mobility subsystems include a 1,000 horsepower, 750 kilowatts engine with potential for growth and hydrop pneumatic suspension unit, a requirement for Korea's rugged mountainous terrain. K-9 is capable of various maneuvers, including high-speed driving and sudden stops. It was designed to give the artillery arm of the Republic of Korea Army a significant improvement in capability. With a claimed range of 75 kilometers, it offers greater mobility, longer range, higher rate of fire, and increased battlefield survivability, as it can quickly be brought into action, open fire, and come out of action. It is less likely to be engaged by counter-battery fire, by relying on shoot-and-scoot doctrine. The unit also supports full CBRN protection. In June 2016, the Defense Acquisition Program Administration (DAPA) revealed they were designing a new fully automatic projectile and charge loading system that will be retrofitted to the K-9, essentially giving it a robotic turret. The purpose is to reduce the crew needed to operate the vehicle to 2 in order to mitigate personnel losses expected to be suffered during North Korean attacks. The K-9 has the ability to fire its shells in MRSI mode, which stands for multiple rounds simultaneous impact. In the MRSI mode, the K-9 is able to fire 3 shells in under 15 seconds, 1 shell every 5 seconds, each in different trajectories so that all of the shells will arrive on their target at the same time. Now we will talk about the K-10 ammunition resupply vehicle. The K-10 ammunition resupply vehicle. The K-10 is an automatic ammunition resupply vehicle built on the K-9 platform, part of the K-9 Thunder system. It shares the same chassis as K-9, preserving K-9's mobility, and can follow the main artillery battery without lagging behind. Maximum transfer rate of shells is 12 rounds per minute, and maximum load of shells is 104 rounds. The reloading process is fully automated. The reloading is done through a munition bridge on the K-10 that extends out to lock itself into a reception hole located at the rear of the K-9. This allows the unit to rearm itself under harsh combat conditions without the crew having to expose themselves to the combat environment. The K-9 Thunder has been exported to and built by many countries under license such as Turkey, Australia, India, Finland, Estonia, Norway, Egypt. The K-9 Thunder was also been further developed into many variants.